Hello there. Hello there.
Book forever.
Yay, red vines. Yay, 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 yay. Hello there, everybody. Let's see here. Oh, thank you. Let me get it together over here on let's see here.
Being patient.
Instagram. Oops. Because I don't know. Hitting the wrong
Being
button.
patient.
Okay, let's see here. Oops. Hello there. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Let's see here. I'm doing too much. Thank you, Dr. Carlson. Let's see here.
Being patient.
All right. We are doing church branding part 2, so go ahead and invite people to join us. Let me get this going on Instagram. All right. All righty, here we go. All right. I saw that, L'Oreal. Yeah, I'll definitely do that, daughter. I meant to get back to you. All righty. How's everybody doing on this Friday? I don't normally scope on Fridays, but I wanted to continue part 2 of church branding. If you were on yesterday, then let me know that you were on so that give me some hearts. Let me know that you were on so I can thank you again. Hello there, all of my folks joining on Instagram. Robin Lynn Heath, it's been a minute. Glad to see you on. Danetta. Oh, awesome. Hello there, Apostle C.D. Dixon. Dallas, Texas. Yay. Okay, you guys are ready for part 2. Well, please go ahead and share the broadcast so that others will join us. I said it yesterday. If you're not responsible for marketing or branding for your church, then I want you to invite whomever is, or whoever is. My English majors, y'all help me out with that. But let them know, because this is going to be great. We're doing part 2 to church branding. All right. Hello there, First Lady Ree. What? Not sure what you mean by that, Carlson. All right, everybody. Good. I am glad that those of you are sneaking on. I see somebody saying they're sneaking on. I appreciate that. Hit the 3 buttons if you are on Periscope and invite others to join. And then, of course, those of you on Instagram, I want you to share as well. Again, this is part 2. Y'all like my shirt? Red vines. Yay. I'm going to share a little story. You know, I like, this is like show and tell. I like props. So I wore my Red Vines t-shirt. And so I'm going to share the story about this t-shirt. So super, super excited today. So again, it's Friday. And I am excited. Let's see here. Okay. I was trying to, but I just, I can't today. All right. So anyway, I am excited. I've got some great stuff I want to share with you guys. Time is of the essence, and so I'm already a little bit late, so let me go ahead and get started. Hopefully you're on my email list. Those of you that are on my email list, you got the notification, sent out another email, said part 2. Yes, that I'm doing part 2. So I want to encourage you to make sure you're on my email list. If this is your first time, excuse me, of course, let me say welcome. But then I want to invite you to join my email list so you get the notification. All you have to do is text my last name to the number 22828. text my last name to the number 22828. All right. So take a screenshot of that, and then just follow the prompts. It's really, really a simple process to do it. So yesterday, of course, we started the conversation about church branding, and I talked about, I gave you what the definition of branding is. Basically, it tells the end user the promise that they can guarantee, that you can guarantee they're going to experience when they connect with you. So I always teach with my brand that excellence matters. And so when people interact with me, it is my goal to always make sure that it is an excellent experience. They get excellent work. The people I connect them to are going to be excellent. The people that I refer them to and give contracts to, they are going to line up with my brand and be excellent as well. So you have to decide for your ministry what your brand is. All right. So effective branding is designed to increase your exposure in your community, and then to clearly communicate what your message is. And then the main thing about branding is that you want to control your narrative. You want to be the one that tells people what it is you're about, what it is you stand for, and what it is that they can expect when they connect with you, what your promise is. And if you're not connecting, if you're not controlling that narrative, somebody else is. And you don't want your members sitting in the pews to be confused and not know what it is that you all have branded yourself as. Now, churches cannot be all things to all people. So let's just put that out there. I know a lot of people think that, well, the church is for everybody. It is for everybody. But when it comes to marketing and establishing a brand, you have to identify the audience that you're trying to attract. If you're trying to attract everybody, you're attracting nobody. Everybody, write that down. If you're trying to attract everybody, you're attracting nobody. All right. I told y'all this was going to be good. So make sure you hit the 3 buttons on Periscope and let folks know that we are on. In fact, let me make sure I do it myself. Hold on one second, y'all. Don't give up on your girl. All right. Okay, good. All righty. So let people know that we are on. So we're getting started today with part 2. We are going to talk about, got my notes. We are going to talk about your church website as it relates to branding. Thank you, Carrie. Glad to see you on. We're going to talk about your church website as it relates to branding. Let me just interject this, that your church website should represent your brand. And if it does not, take it down and get it fixed and then put it back up. I would rather you not have a website. Yes, you're hearing me correctly. The church consultant, I'm telling you, I would rather you not have a website if it does not reflect your brand. That's why I teach that you should just get a landing page if that's all your budget affords, or if that's just where you are. A landing page is just a one-pager that gives your service time information, your address, a way to contact you, and maybe, a contact form or something about the pastor, but it shouldn't have, it obviously can't mimic a website. That's why it's called a landing page. It's just a place for people to land on to learn about you. Literally, you buy your domain name and you point it to that landing page. Then you go and work on your website so that it represents your brand. If you go check out my website, even yesterday I was telling my team there were some things that I wanted to change about my website, and I did. I immediately went and changed after I did the session. That's why it's good to teach and it's good to be a student. So that you can get new revelation. A lot of this wasn't new for me to teach you, but I did get new revelation. Let me tell you, I always pray that creative ideas and witty inventions will come to me. And sure enough, when I finished scoping with you guys yesterday, even though I had another appointment to go to, I couldn't shake it. So I went to my computer and I went and found a new plugin for my events. If you recall yesterday, I shared that your event should be current. When people are checking out your brand, you want to make sure that everything is current and up to date, at least be in the same year. And so, sure enough, the plugin that I had on my website that posted my calendar, it wasn't working right. It had some quirks. And so it was showing my engagement from December when I went and spoke in December. And so I took it out, I found a new plugin and I added it. I know it's a little techie. I'm a technical girl, but your web developer will know what I'm talking about. I went and found a new plugin and added it, and it works beautiful. So if you go to my website now, thewearagency.com, and click on calendar, you'll see my next 3 or 4 engagements. I was able to post them. And this plugin was so great. It allowed me to add the graphic. It allowed me to add, of course, the event information, but it allowed me to add the host as well as their address, and you could actually get directions, kind of do a map quest. So, and this was absolutely free. I love free things when it comes to technology. So, I went and did that. And then some of you were so kind to ask me about my different products. And so I made it easier for you all to access those products. So thank you. Thank you so much for those of you that have gone and checked it out. So your church website branding. Can you overdo your brand on your website? Absolutely. If you're branding, you've got a logo and then you've got specific colors, your whole website doesn't need to look like a hodgepodge of that. Your whole website, it just needs to have your brand added to it. So you can use other colors. You don't have to put the same color and design all over the website. People even ask me about flyers and graphics. You know, does the pastor's picture or the first family, do their photos have to be on everything? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The brand should be the ministry. That way, if the leadership changes out, you don't have to try to go back and change out everything. Now, of course, you're talking about pastoral anniversaries. You're talking about, you know, maybe a women's event or a men's event that the pastor or the spouse is hosting. Then sure, their pictures, you know, could be on it. But every single graphic does not have to have their photos on it. So when you're talking about your church website, you want to have, and I'm going to get into this, you got to think about the psychology of branding. So I'm going to go into that in just a moment. So just to answer the question that I put on your e-blast, can you overdo it on your website with your branding? And you absolutely can. So don't be afraid to switch things up. That's why you can ask your web developer or your graphic designer, I should say, to have your logo in different colors. So it could be the same font, the same script, like this shirt I have on for Red Vines, the same design, right? But it could be different colors because people are going to identify the design and structure of your logo with your brand. So you're not going to lose them if you change out the colors. Hello there, Pastor Ron Pitts. Glad to see you on. All right. So number 2. What emotions are your branding colors communicating? I want to suggest that you go and Google or go on Pinterest and just do a search on the colors, the emotions of colors, or the colors that emotions. Let me see. What emotions are evoked by certain colors? You know, obviously red is energy, red is fire, red invokes passion. You know, green and blue, they invoke peace. They invoke stillness. And so if you're talking about you've got an event that's going to be red hot, lit on fire, obviously you don't want to use green. You would want to use red and maybe white and yellow. Always choose a primary color and then 2 secondary colors. So which leads me, let me just jump right on into it. The 3 basic elements of church branding, because I'm going to talk about colors and how they can impact what it is you do. So again, welcome to all my first timers. If this is your first time, give me some hearts and let me know. Or if you're on Instagram, just put a 1 in the comment box. I am Robin Ware. I'm a church consultant and I'm so excited. I am blessed to work with churches and pastors, helping them with marketing and branding and websites and of course leadership training. And so today I am doing part 2 of my church branding. I actually did part 1 yesterday, so you can catch that on my blog. Just go to thewearagency.com/blog or just go to the website and look for my blog. So share that the broadcast is live because we are about to get started for today. And then I'm going to explain why I'm wearing this cute t-shirt that says Red Vines. You all know that I'm a Red Vines girl, so I know you're not totally shocked, those of you that know me, that I would have on kind of a vintage look t-shirt that says Red Vines, but I'm going to save that to the end. Okay. So let's talk about it. The three basic elements of church branding. Number one is color. Color is so important. The first basic element of church branding is establishing your brand's colors. So again, I said it just a moment ago, but you want to make sure you have one main color and then two primary. And then if you know anything about color, and maybe you should go to Lowe's or Home Depot and go in the paint department, when you look and get a swatch, when you look at a paint swatch, it may have red, but then it has five or maybe even six various degrees of red, so that you can see what other secondary colors can complement your primary color. Whenever I'm doing a website, that is a large component of what I review with my clients, is going through colors and understanding how they impact your brand, understanding what they translate, what colors translate, what emotions they invoke, and then visually how they communicate. Yes, visual items speak louder than words. Absolutely. You hear it all the time that a picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, visual is the same thing. So you want to make sure that your brand, that you have one main component. All right. And then it's just kind of like McDonald's. McDonald's, we know their primary color is red, but their secondary colors are yellow and white. And so typically when they're doing something with their main colors, with their main colors as a part of their brand, you're always going to see the red, the white, and the yellow. However, like with their McCafe, their coffee line, right? I think that's a dark brown. Well, it makes sense because when you think of coffee beans, you think of dark brown, but it's still the same scripting, the same outline of their logo. So if you all just getting on, I kind of shared earlier that part of your logo design, the important part is understanding the font, which leads me to, let's talk about logos. You want to make sure that you have a logo that represents your brand in excellence. So if you're looking, you can see right behind me that I have my Coach Robin logo on the wall. The word Robin, my name, is actually written in a particular font. So anytime I have something designed, I always make sure the developer has the name of that font so that they can download that font and use it in the design. So Success Coach, and then you see my actual logo, RobinandWord.com, is in a different font. But I always make sure that Robin, right there, that Robin is always in that particular font, because people have become to, from my coaching brand, they associate that, ROBIN exclamation point. I'm a success coach. I added the exclamation point so that it adds power. It lets people know that I am serious and I'm committed to my brand. And so anytime you see that, you know that I've got the exclamation point. So for those of you that say, hey, I really need a logo, I really need an upgrade, it's time for me to change out my logo, you of course can hire a graphic designer and ask them to do it. Now, typically I've seen that logos cost anywhere from, $99 to $600. It just kind of depends on the graphic designer that you're going to use. Cheaper is not always better, and more expensive isn't always better. So you've got to find somebody that understands and gets what you're trying to communicate. All right. Remember, I said it before, your brand, it speaks your promise. It tells people what they can expect when they connect with you. So you want to make sure that that graphic designer understands that. So, of course, being a coach, even though this is a church branding topic, let me just be a coach for a second. For those of you that maybe don't have a graphic designer and you're looking for a new one, you can go to 99designs.com. That's a website that I've used for different projects. And simply you put out there that you're looking for a logo. You tell them what colors you're wanting it to be. And then you say how much you're willing to pay. And based on how much you're willing to pay, different designers will tell you that they'll do it for you. And so then you get to pick the one that you like, but you've got to pay them the amount that you said you pay. So I would probably go in with a bid of $200. So for $200, I'll pay for a brand new logo. So then you'll probably get, let's say, 4 or 5 designers that will each give you a logo. Then you get to choose amongst the 4 or 5 which one you want, and then that's the one that gets the $200. All right. So you're not going to go on 99designs.com and say you'll pay $25, because that's just not how it works. All right. So you also can use Fiverr. Somebody type that for me. Oh, they want, it's 99, the number 99, and then designs with an S.com. So put that in there for me. I'll put it over here on Instagram, 99designs.com. And then I'll put the second one while I'm typing. Yep. And then Fiverr.com is the second website. Now, Fiverr is the one that you can go to and say you want to pay $25 for a logo, and you'll find somebody that will do it for $25. In fact, the reason why it's called Fiverr is because their gigs, and that's what they call their projects, their gigs begin at $5. And so you probably could find somebody that will do it for $5. However, be careful, because oftentimes you get what you pay for. So you may have to search for multiple designers, as well as you may need to up your ante and say that you're willing to pay, $25, $50, $100. All right. So that's what I am talking about when it comes to logo. Just make sure your logo captures your personality. It should capture the personality of the ministry. All right. And then one tip, look again, the coach is coming out of me, but always make sure anytime that you pay someone for a design, particularly we're speaking of logos, that you get the native files. And a lot of times they're going to charge you more for the native files, but it is worth it. All right. So native, Native. So let me type that. Somebody type that for me on Instagram. On Periscope. Native. Always ask for the native files. That means you want the layers so that you can change it, so that you can change out the colors, so that you can incorporate that logo into another design. So if you don't, source files. All right. I appreciate that. Source files, so that you can recreate your logo into another design or concept. So if you paid, let's say, that's why sometimes, a graphic designer will charge you $600. It's not necessarily because of the amount of time they spent in developing the logo. It's because you're going to want the native files. And sometimes they may say, well, you're going to pay me yet again to get those native files, or, hey, Clarissa, or here you go. And so they're only going to get you to pay them one time. And so that's why they're charging you $600. Because even on Fiverr, if you pay somebody $30 to design your logo, they're probably going to charge you another $30 for the native files. And so the native files, or the source files, will be like .eps, .ai, which is Adobe Illustrator, or .psd, which is a Photoshop file. But you need that because when you go to another designer and say, I want you to design this cute, super duper cute t-shirt, and I want you to put the logo on it, but then I want you to add a different color to it, they need those native files. They can't do that with a JPEG. All right. So do not do that. Don't get your logo without the file. All right. So here we go. The next one, number 3, as it pertains to the elements of church branding, is your font itself. So I made mention of it when I talked about Robin. The word Robin, the script that it's written in, that's called a font. And so your graphic designer, when they're designing your logo, you need to know the name of your font. It's not just enough to send out or to have the native file. You want to have native files, You also need to know the name of your particular font. And so that's why when you work with a reputable graphic designer, they're going to give you, kind of a, what's the term L'Oreal's on? Help me out, daughter. They're going to give you a sheet. Can't think of the proper name of it. A brand guide. Yeah, like a brand guide. Thank you so much. They're going to give you a brand guide that's going to tell you, here's your logo. And here are all the fonts. Here's the PMS colors so that you know the exact color of red, the exact color of white, or the exact color of black. So that, I think 00005 zeros is white. I think 5 F's is black. It's consistent. And so it's the same language that all designers speak, but they can't speak it if you don't give it to them. So that's why that brand, that styling sheet is important. Look at L'Oreal saying I'm doing very well. See, I know a little something. It pays that I have an agency. And so I'm really blessed to work with clients that want to invest in their brand so that we're able to do some creative things. So now for those of you that maybe you don't have the budget where you can hire an agency like mine, but yet, you want to have a logo and you want to have your own particular font. To be honest with you, I found this font myself and I sent it to my designer and I said, this is the font that I want my name in. And so where did I find that? Drum roll. Woo! You want to know where I get my fonts? Give me some hearts if you want to know. It's absolutely free. Yeah, absolutely free. See, that's why you got to hang out with me. I understand the power of being a blessing. So I am going to bless someone. I understand not all churches have large budget yet for marketing. I always tell my pastors, you need to shift some of those music dollars and put them into marketing dollars. That's a whole nother scope. But I'm telling you, your marketing dollars is what brings the people in. Yeah. Your music dollars is not what brings people in. Your music dollars may help people stay, but it's typically not what brings people in. All right? So you got to put your money where it's important to get the people in. So where do I get my fonts? I get my fonts at dafont.com. So it's an absolutely free site. Again, somebody type that for me. DAFONT. Yeah, dafont.com. And it's absolutely free. So don't get distracted because there are a gazillion fonts on there. So what you do is you decide if you want it to be a script, if you want it to be sans serif, if you want it, to be fun, whatever the style is, then you're able to narrow your search down. Alrighty. So, see, I've given you some great stuff already hanging out on this free church branding part 2 workshop. So let me just give you a little heads up of what fonts not to use. All right. Because they've been overused. I do not like the Comic Sans. The Comic Sans is the one that looks like a comic strip font. I hate it. Yes, I hate it. So when you're talking about building a professional brand, don't use that. Now, if you've got maybe a youth department and you're doing a design for them, then maybe. But it even makes me crazy when I get emails and people use that font. So definitely it is a no-no. So keep that in mind. And then, I made myself a point. Hey, Shantae, if you, a lot of people ask me, should sub-departments or ministries within the church, should they have their own logos? Well, it depends. For instance, if your music department, see, I'm back to music again, but if your music department, maybe they record, maybe they make records, and so they would need a logo to identify their music ministry. The Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir, they have their own logo. So now, I think it should complement the main logo of the ministry. That's why you need to use a qualified graphic designer because they'll help you with that. Excuse me. All right. So they'll help you connect that so that it still is in the same family. It's just like what I said with McDonald's and McCafe. 2 different words, but the fonts are very, very similar. And they complement, and you can tell they're from the same brand. All right. So one of my favorites is I actually brand sermon series. I love it when the pastor, again, I'm in marketing, right? So when I work with my churches, I work with my pastors and I ask them, excuse me, to give me an idea of their themes for the month. and then to take it to the next level and identify a sermon series, and then even yet another level, and to give me sermon titles so that I can brand their particular sermon series. And then I'm able to create intro slides, headers, email template headers, social media graphics, slide points, all of that, all based off of the brand for that sermon series. A lot of pastors ask me, well, how can we increase sales of our sermons? That's one of the ways you do it, is you need to create sermon series and then package them. It's a no-brainer. A lot of people like me sit in service with their iPads or their cell phones or smart devices and they record it. But I'm telling you, when you package it and say, boom, here's an MP3 with all the sermons on it, or an MP4 with all the videos, or even, DVDs, if that's what your ministry still does, I would be more inclined to buy it because I like to have order and structure. So I've got, How to Be an Amazing Woman. I've got the whole series and I've got it on my shelf, or I've got it in my iTunes. I've got the notes even in Kindle, because again, that's part of that branding, is to put the sermon notes in like an ebook form. There's so many creative things that we do when we work with our clients. And we do that because with social media, it's so, it takes so much to get everybody's attention. There's so much noise on social media. So you got to figure out a way for your sermons to stand out. And that is very, very effective. All right. And then lastly, for those of you that are saying, okay, well, Coach Robin, I don't have any idea what type of brand that I think we should change to. Branding's not my thing. I don't really have a good eye. I'm not really into colors. I'm not a design person. I got another tip for you. A super, super great tip. This is one of the, this is going to be your homework assignment for this one. How many of you all did your homework assignment from yesterday? I asked you guys to do your homework assignment. How many of you all did it? Put me in the comment box if you did it. Let me see. Hey there, TD. Hey, John Paul. Glad to see everybody on. I'm not seeing any me's. Okay, good. Carrie says she did it. Good. All right, L'Oreal did it. Wonderful. All right. I was going to start feeling some kind of way. Make sure you do your homework, but your homework for today is, I want you, good, thank you, J.L. McKenzie. I want you to use Instagram to help you identify your next brand, meaning your next brand look or concept. One of the ways you do that is as you're going through good stuff. I see you guys saying you did it. As you go through Instagram, use their bookmark feature. That's one of their newer features. When you see someone's branding or even graphic style that you like, all you have to do is add it to your bookmarks. It makes it so simple so that you don't have to take a screenshot and then try to remember that you took a screenshot and go back into your pictures to try to find it and then forward it to your graphic designer. You no longer have to do that. All you have to do is go to Instagram, use the bookmark feature, and add your add the items that you want to save in the bookmark. So you can actually, there's two ways to do it. One saves it into a main gallery, and the second one allows you to separate them into collections. And that's what I do. I have collections within my bookmarks, and I sure enough do. I have one titled Graphics I Love. All right. So you would have one titled Branding that you love, so that when it's time to sit down and have the conversation with your team, you're able to say, here's something that I like, because it's not easy under pressure to sit there and try to go find something, but do it while you're not under pressure, so that as you see things, you just save it and put it in a collection. Same thing even with graphics. There are graphics that you like, different styles. When you hire a new graphic designer, you're able to say, here are some that I like because I've been saving them as a part of a collection. All right. So I now want to share with you. Did you guys enjoy this? Before I get into my Red Vines story, did you guys enjoy this? Give me some hearts if you enjoyed part 2 of our branding. Again, for those of you that did not get to see church branding part 1, it is on my website. Woohoo! TheWearAgency.com. Thank you guys for the hearts. Good stuff. Thank you, Monday's Life. There is Marie Pie. Good. I'm glad you're on though, sweetheart. Thank you, L'Oreal. I see all my folks waving. Good stuff. Thank you, my Instagram people. Lady L. White. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, you guys. So I got to make some room on my desk for my next. Oh, I forgot one part I want to teach. I said I was going to share this with you guys. Is about the psychology of color. I have a wonderful handout here. If you want to get a copy of this, then I want you to make sure you go to my Facebook group. It's called Ramped, RAMPED. Go to Ramped and join, and then tell me that you want the digital copy of my Psychology of Color. All right, and I'll share this with you. But you got to make sure you go to Ramped on Facebook. All right. So I love this. Now, when I was teaching about colors, I was saying that different colors evoke different emotions. So we know that red, of course, can be looked at as passion as well as fiery. So you can do your research and find that. Oh, really? Okay. We'll make sure it's in groups. So you're going to have to type in groups and look for Ramped. All right. But I'll make sure I email the link as well. So make sure you're on my email list so that you get the link. All right. But the psychology of color. So you can go and research what different colors mean, what their emotional connection is. But I wanted to teach this. I thought this was so awesome. The psychology of color. Okay. So now Carrie says she can't find it. All right, Carrie, I'll make sure that I email that link to that Facebook group, sweetheart. Thank you. So the psychology of color, listen to this, you guys. 84.7% of consumers say that the primary reason they buy a product is based on the color. I love it. I love it. I think that is so important that you use colors that speak to people. People say that 93% of people say that when they buy, they look at the visual appearance of something. So it matters. I love this. And 80% of people say that the color increases their ability to recognize a brand. See, I told you that a little earlier. So ads that are done in color are read more often, 42% of the time, than the same ones in black or white. That's why I fight with graphic designers that want to do black and white or sepia. If it doesn't make sense with what it is we're promoting, I'm not doing black and white. I insist that it be done in color. I don't care that you think creatively it looks good. I care about that it speaks to what it is I'm promoting. Thank you, Carrie. It's under, that's what RAMP stands for. I'm sorry. It's an acronym that stands for Religious Administrators, Marketing Professionals, and Event Dynamos. Yeah, God gave me that a few years ago. So that's what RAMP stands for. So 42% more often people will look at your item if it's in color versus if it's in black and white. So again, I am going to put this in Ramped if you want to be able to get your own copy and download it. But this is a really, really, really good psychology of color. All right. So let me share why I have on my Red Vines t-shirt, other than the fact you all know that hang out with me, I'm a Red Vines kind of girl. Well, on Instagram, from time to time, I post pictures and I say things like, I'm happy I've got my Red Vines, or, enjoying my favorite thing, Red Vines, whatever. I don't overly do it, but I put it on there if you go and look. Well, one day, because I understand social media, I always tag Red Vines when I do that. Well, one day, guess who slid into my DMs? Yep. Guess who slid into my DMs? Yep. Red Vines corporate office. Is that not something? Oh, they're laughing that I said who slid into my DMs. That is so funny. Because all those other folks that slide in, I'm not paying them any attention. But Red Vines themselves slid into your girl's DM and said they noticed that I love red vines and basically asked me to be an ambassador on National Licorice Day. So who knew that there was a National Licorice Day? And so, of course, I really wasn't for sure if it was them. And so they asked me, could they send me something, being that they want me to be an ambassador. And so I gave them my P.O. box. All right. So what happened, let me pick this up, is I got this wonderful, can y'all see this? I got this wonderful box from Red Vine's corporate office. So I'm going to put it back down here, you guys, because it is so heavy. But sure enough, so when I opened it up, they sent me a nice little note. It says, Happy National Licorice Day, Red Vines. So those of you, I'm telling you, this works. Again, in doing branding and marketing for churches, this is a great idea. If you've got an event coming up, a conference coming up, to do a concept like this. So, Happy National Licorice Day, Red Vines. And then they wrote me a personalized note. Robin, you see they wrote my name. Robin. Yep, Robin. It says, don't forget to celebrate National Licorice Day with us. No better way to celebrate than with some Red Vines goodies. Enjoy the sweetest day of the year. When I tell you, this was awesome sauce, right? So, attached to it, okay, hold on, you guys. I've got to dig down here. I love this. They gave me my very own Red Vine sticker. Yes. I love it. 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 So, this was attached to my card. So, I won't be putting it on my card, but I am going to put it on probably my favorite binder. And then, okay, let me see. Something's going on over here. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. I don't want my folks to miss out. Over here. All right, now let me go back. Okay, so I gotta tell them again. They included with the card a sticker for Red Vines. Like, I'm hooked for life, right? I was already hooked for life, but I have a Red Vine sticker. And then they said they included some product. So you all know this is my favorite. So they gave me not just this. Oh my goodness. They also included a bag of black. I didn't even know they sold this, but they included a box of black licorice, and then and I should say that the red, which is my favorite, they gave me two. I've already eaten one. But they gave me this. I'd never even seen this. It says Red Vines Made Simple. And I think what the difference is, they used a different sugar. All right. So they gave me 3 packs of these. And this says mixed berry flavor. Mixed berry. Okay. Then they included the big bag of red and black mixed bites of licorice. And then I haven't seen this in the store either, but it's Red Vine's birthday cake flavor licorice. Oh my goodness, right? They gave me that. Then they gave me the regular Red Vines bites, which this is awesome sauce. And I've never seen this, you guys. They gave me ropes. Yep, licorice ropes. So now I got some new necklaces, right? Fun, right? Let me see. Another sticker of the big jumbo red vines. And it's the cutest. And then, the big mama jamma. The big red vines. So, when I tell you they went over and above thanking me for my love of red vines, this is just so much, right? All this stuff. I can't even hold all of it. So, anyway, right, I'm in red vines heaven. So, I know, right? I haven't seen most of these things, but how awesome is that? So, I'm telling you. Oh, and then my shirt. Thank you. They gave me a shirt. So now I am an official Red Vines ambassador. So why am I sharing this? Because, oh, they're saying I need to wave the wand. Yay! But because I want you to understand the power of building a brand. All right? So it's important. This is a brand that I'm happy to connect with and to now be, an ambassador. How many of y'all remember at P3 that I spoke into the atmosphere? I named one of my confessions even about, I assigned it the responsibility of me becoming a brand ambassador. At P3 in November, I said one of my goals for 2018, and I put it in the atmosphere, Mark 11:23. I spoke it, and I said that I'm going to be a brand ambassador, and look what God did. I'm telling you, whoever thought it would be a Red Vines ambassador, but I don't care, right? That just tells you the power of confessing your faith. So, here we go. I want you all, make sure you do your homework. I got to put this stuff back down here. Alrighty. So you think we should try this? I should open one of these and see what it is? Y'all want to see what this is? I've never seen this. It says made in California. So maybe it is, well, let me see. I'm looking at the ingredients. Yes, so this one's made with cane sugar, and this one's made with corn syrup. So the one that I'm used to is corn syrup, and the newer one, or the one I'm not so familiar with, but I'm excited to try, is made with real sugar, cane sugar. So, super, super, super excited. So, I got to find somebody, though, that enjoys the black licorice as much as I enjoy the red licorice. Because I don't want that one to go to waste. And then I got my little stickers. Aren't these the cutest? So, yep, I'm now officially brand ambassador for Red Vine. So, get your branding together. All right? Get your branding together. So, National Licorice Day was April the 14th. All right. So you know how they come up with all these days. And so it pays, I guess, to be aware of what's going on in your, on those type of holiday things. So, all right. So let me put these all back in my little box. So I was really, really, really pleasantly surprised that they followed through. And so now I am going to take some pictures today and, of course, put this on my Instagram. That Red Vines. Yep, Red Vines, Red Vines, Red Vines. All right. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this today. Part 2 of our church branding. I got to get back to working on my book, How to Wow. Okay, good. Kim says she took some. Wonderful. How to Wow. So that I'm going to be releasing it in May. I'm super excited at the Pastors and Leaders Conference where I will be speaking for Bishop Charles Ellis in Detroit. And then, of course, I will have it at the Kingdom, oh, Lord, I want to make sure I say it right. It's May 17th through the 19th in Brunswick, Georgia. Kingdom Priority, I think is what it is. So anyway, I'm going to have my book all over the place. I'll be in Miami. So I got a few things coming up where I will have my book. So I am super excited. So for those of you that need help, of course, church websites, church branding, that's what my agency does. So reach out to me through thewareagency.com. Again, those of you, please make sure you're on my email list. Text my last name, W-A-R-E, to the number 22828. And you will be on my list. So any questions? What questions do you guys have? Yes, there is a new course coming. Thank you for asking. You're going to get that in your email. Good. She said, I'm ready to sign up. I'm excited about that. Yes. Are you on my email list? Oh, that's Natalie. Yes, you are. Absolutely. I appreciate your support. Absolutely. Hey there, Darius. Glad to see you guys on. Hey, Jacqueline. Good stuff. Glad to see everybody on my Instagram. Dr. DuPont, glad to see you on. Regina Chocolate Kiss, I see you. True Sisterhood, all these great folks over here. Thank you for jumping on. Well, if you don't have any questions, I will get back to the business at hand. Excuse me, getting this book together and returning some emails. So God bless you guys. Yes, Jerry, you definitely should sign up. Good. Thank you so much. Oh, you know why, Jerry? You are on my list. Don't worry about it. You don't have to re-sign up. The emails that went out to my church list, and you're on my entrepreneurs list. If you want to be on both, then yes, you can. You should do this, the text to join, and then that way you'll get on the church list. All right. All right. Thank you so much, Clarissa. Alrighty, guys. Well, I appreciate you. Of course, remember P3 is November 29th through December 1st. P3retreat.com is where you go to register. And of course, if you want to invite me to speak or assist you at your church, just do it through my website. I'd love to come and share. God bless you guys. Bye-bye.